That heavy knock every RVer dreads isn't just a random stroke of bad luck. It's a final step of a massive regulatory shift hitting the road in 2026. This is about more than just avoiding a simple parking ticket. There are 10 specific landmines from your paperwork and parking clocks to power rules and zoning that determine if you stay moving or end up in a tow yard. This isn't legal advice, but it is the practical survival guide I use to stay mobile. And it all centers on a 3-step engine off routine you need to perform the moment you stop. The first thing you have to do is drop the myth that retail lots are a guaranteed safety net. There's no longer a national promise that you can overnight at big box stores. Those decisions are now made store by store and manager by manager, and local ordinances can override a yes from a manager at any time. If you guess wrong, the financial pain is immediate because cities are now using impoundment as their main enforcement tool. Once your rig is towed, those storage fees start stacking up every single day your home sits in a lot. You also have to master the parking clock because the rules change the very second you cross city lines. In Seattle, you're flagged if you stay on the same block for more than 72 consecutive hours. Cross into Portland, and the window for storing a vehicle on the street shrinks to just 24 hours. San Diego is even more aggressive towards oversized RVs, banning all street parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. unless you have a temporary overnight permit. Even then, those permits aren't a permanent fix. They cost money and strictly cap out how many consecutive days you can actually use them. The reason cities are getting so aggressive comes down to volume and complaints. Official reports out of Los Angeles County and San Francisco show over 1,000 people are now living in vehicles, and that volume is pushing local governments into a model of strict complaint-driven enforcement. All it takes is one call from a neighbor or a local business to put you on the radar. The scrutiny actually starts before you even turn the key. Your paperwork matters now more than ever. Many DMVs are demanding proof of a real physical domicile to maintain your registration. A P.O. box alone is usually not enough anymore. So if you're a full-timer using mail forwarding, you have to ensure your setup is handled correctly for your specific state. Even the rules under your tires are shifting. Texas is a prime example of how the landscape is changing. They ended safety inspections starting in 2025, but emissions requirements still apply in many counties. The bigger point is that your domicile state rules are constantly evolving. With the RV Association citing roughly 486,000 full-time RVers in 2025, you have a massive population of travelers colliding with 50 different sets of state systems. This friction is also making the lifestyle more expensive. The National Park Service has already moved forward with fee increases at specific parks, where some site prices have jumped from $10 up to $20. While not every site has doubled in price, you can no longer assume that the era of a cheap public campground will be there to catch you. Once you're settled in, you have to watch out for daily habit traps. Power usage is no longer a free-for-all. California state parks generally list specific generator windows, such as 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Colorado Parks and Wildlife is strictly enforcing quiet hours. If you rely on a generator for your heat, cooling, or medical needs, you must have a backup plan before you arrive. Your exhaust could also trigger a ticket. New York City enforces a 3-minute idling limit in many situations, while California has a 5-minute diesel idling rule for certain heavier vehicles. You cannot assume every RV is treated the same, but you can assume that idling for air conditioning is no longer a safe default. Environmental enforcement is now one of the highest stakes areas of the journey. Wastewater dumping has become zero-tolerance territory. In California, penalties for dumping can reach into the thousands of dollars, and Nevada has strictly prohibited illegal dumping under state law. One bad decision regarding your tanks can become a massive financial problem overnight. The biggest gut punch is that you may not even be able to escape this by buying land. Zoning is strictly local, and it is getting tighter every year. Clark County, Nevada, for instance, bans living in an occupied RV unless it's inside a licensed RV park. Guidance from Los Angeles County says RVs are not permitted as housing on a property. This means your quiet backup plan could still be shut down by code enforcement. To keep this manageable, I follow a strict engine off routine. Step 1 is the clock check, where you look up the specific time limits and oversized vehicle rules for that exact block. Step 2 is the rule match, where you check generator windows, idling limits, and quiet hours against your actual needs. If they conflict, move while it's still easy. Step 3 is the paperwork and exit plan, which means keeping your registration and insurance reachable and always know exactly where you'll go if you're told to move. As a final safeguard, save the official city, county, and park pages for your 5 most visited areas. That becomes your personal legal map and prevents the mistake of thinking everywhere is the same. If you want more real-world updates on surviving on the road, hit like and follow, and watch some of my next videos over here. Safe travels.